Let's do Rogue here. So Rogue has got 3 specializations. We're going to start with Combat Spec. So Combat Spec provides a C spell, which is your Blink. It also gives life regen for a short while, and if you haven't taken any damage at the end of this, it will restore all stamina and heal 15% health. So you have to be kind of mindful. Make sure at the end of that 8 seconds there, or for the last 2 seconds of that 8-second period at least, you don't take any damage. You can recover quite a bit of health and stamina, importantly, which is your mechanic, essentially, your damage. So every point of stamina increases your basic attack damage by 3, meaning at maximum stamina you can do 45 damage per attack. This is on top of any other modifiers. So we've got our E spell here, which deals damage and recovers stamina for every enemy hit. Our W is a targeted damage and stun to a single enemy. Your Q is a short-range dash. This is the same for every single spec, whereas these other spells will vary depending on the spec. Your R is a point-and-click damage. It does not stun, instead it applies an armor shred effect, increasing all damage you or anyone else deals to them for a short period of time. Your R also deals bonus against structures, but it's kind of hard to use against structures for the most part, as you are a melee character. Your T is a attack speed amp. It also makes your auto attacks deal AoE damage, which is affected by your stamina. Now your stamina will naturally recover. It recovers twice as fast out of combat, so try and avoid taking damage. In Combat Spec, you also get Fleet Footwork, where every time you attack an enemy, you get this buff here, which allows you to dash through enemies. Your Z spell here, Z, yes, doubles the damage of your next spell. So it will double the damage of my next ambush here, or my next eviscerate, or gouge, or lunge. Okay, and of course you have Thistle T here, which is the same spell on all the specs, but it provides, and this spec on Combat Spec recovers all stamina. So now we're going to play Subtlety Rogue here, which is the 3rd spec here. Subtlety Rogue requires or uses energy. It does not have stamina, but it has an energy system instead. Now you have an Adrenaline Rush spell here, which doubles your energy regen for 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. You also have Elusiveness here, which will grant you movement speed temporarily and undetectable. Now this undetectable only is useful if you're actually cloaked with your Vanish spell, which is your R. Your E spell is called Sap, and will temporarily, right, 15 seconds, sleep an enemy. So the enemy will be stunned essentially unless they take damage. So if they take damage, that stun will immediately end. So we'll sap that guy there, and now you can walk away using our Q from the Combat Spec, which is the same mechanic except it uses energy instead of a cooldown to move. Our W is called Garrote. It deals damage to an enemy as long as we're close to that enemy there. So that Murloc there is getting garroted right now. The enemy is also silenced while they're being garroted. You can use this on bosses, but it doesn't silence them. However, it will decloak you, so you need to be quite mindful that you cannot engage too deeply as this rogue here. So we're going to just use our Blink and Elusiveness, sorry, our Vanish and Elusiveness. Now, while you're vanished, you can also use Shadow Step to blink to a target point, allowing you to get out of danger. You also have Trap Sense. Now we're going to use Spike Meta. Don't die. We're going to just demonstrate one of the spikes here. So here's a spike trap. We're just going to wait for it to fully build up. And with Trap Sense, you can see it. So we can see it, and with our C spell here, Disarm Trap, we can destroy it without decloaking ourselves. Your T spell reduces the armor of an enemy for quite a while once you max it up, 25 seconds. So this is a hugely powerful team sport talent. Okay, so let's go and switch over to the other rogue, the last one, Poison Rogue. Okay, so Poison Rogue has a cloak, similarly, however, it does not use energy. This cloak also does not use stamina. It has no resource, essentially, aside from cooldowns. However, its auto attacks are its primary way of dealing damage. It has 3 passives it can apply through attacks. So it can apply Crippling Poison, right, which is a 4-second debuff, slowing and reducing damage dealt. It can apply Deadly Poison, which deals % max health to non-boss enemies, but against boss enemies, it deals flat amount of damage. Your C, which is your wound poison spell, wound poison makes all your auto attacks reduce healing received and disable life regen. This is especially useful on bosses as it prevents the boss from resetting. So, Poison Rogue can prevent a boss from resetting if you apply wound poison against the boss before you guys have to back out. It lasts for 25 seconds, so plenty of time. Your D spell here is a sprint, which gives you a boost of speed for a short while. It's not a ton of speed, but it is a little bit enough to get out of danger. Your Q is a dash, once again using a cooldown. Your W is the same as W before, however it also applies your currently selected poison. So you can select Z, auto attack something, and switch to X to apply both poisons to the enemy at the same time. If you are quick on the fingers here. You have to be quite fast to switch them between them all. There is really no cooldown between these, so you can switch between them. You could cast your W with your Z and switch over to your X for your auto attack lands, and then switch over to C for your casting E, all in half a second. Your T spell here refreshes all your auto attack, all your ability cooldowns, and restores a small amount of health. Alright, and your Thistle T here removes any poison or debuffs. So this includes Magmadars, Curse of Gilneas, Impending Doom, and a few other poison debuffs like Assassin's Poison or Deadly Poison from a Rogue for that matter if you're in PvP. Yeah, that's Rogue.